What's up?
What's up, guys? What's up? What's up?
Welcome back to Super Archives, where we are
Welcome.
always at our post. I am Ace, and I was once the master.
And hello, I am Game. Now I am the master. This is our 7th episode talking about A New Hope.
Whoa,
Yeah,
amazing!
yeah.
So seventh episode means we've got 6 videos ahead of this one on this series, which we talk about A New Hope, scene by scene. So
Yeah.
don't forget to check out the previous 6 episodes, guys. We also have other videos like our reaction videos to the trailer of Andor,
Yeah, that is
and
right.
and also we got some Star Wars shorts, like little tidbits of information you can watch here on YouTube or on TikTok. Yeah, so tell us more about the other socials, Gabe.
Yeah, so follow us on TikTok at Trooper Archives, and you can listen to this broadcast in Amazon Music, Apple Podcast. I believe it's there. Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, and the other platforms on the screen. Or if you prefer watching us, you can watch on YouTube to our channel Trooper Archives, and please subscribe, to our YouTube channel. And for this next segment, on this day in Star Wars. All right.
Oh, this is always
we got
a fun
couple.
segment.
We got a couple. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. So in September 15, 1993, the Star Wars Trilogy Definitive Collection Laserdisc box set,
Laserdisc.
priced at
Oh,
$250 at that time, is released. It is the
Wow.
first offering of domestic CAV widescreen presentation of the original trilogy. So,
I gotta admit, Laserdisc was a huge leap in technology, also in video quality inside the home, in the household. So I'm so thankful for the Laserdisc technology, and I gotta admit, I did a little bit of recording from Laserdisc to VHS. I don't know if I should say that now, but it's been a while, so I hope I
it's
can
been
get
a
away
while.
with it.
Yeah, probably. Don't rat him out. Anyways, next up, on the same day in 1999, Star Wars Episode 1 The Phantom Menace video game is released on the PlayStation. I actually played this game in PC. It is kind of hard. It's kind of hard to get through the levels. Especially at that time when I played it around 2004, 5, when I had my first PC. It was really hard because there were no walkthroughs. You had to buy the magazines to have walkthroughs. There's no YouTube that could teach you what to
That's
do
right.
per level. So I kind of spend hours in the Trade Federation ship in Naboo, finding even how to get to the Gun City. I didn't know. I had to spend at least 5 hours in Naboo.
Oh man.
Yeah. So anyways, what did we do last episode, Ace?
Oh yeah, that's right. Last episode we talked about the Death Star mostly. We talked about the journey inside the Millennium Falcon to where it was supposed to go, which was Alderaan. Alderaan
Yeah.
wasn't there anymore, and we talked about Grand Moff Tarkin. We talked about the Death Star and just conversations in the menacing environment the Death Star is. Even as a regular employee of the Death Star, you need to be on your toes. You can either get choked or get blasted into smithereens by a super duper planet killing laser.
Yeah, especially if you're
careful.
posted
So,
there in the shaft.
yeah.
Where it
It's a
actually
weird place.
fires.
You got post Judy again? Oh, Shaft Judy. Oh man.
Is there hazard pay? I don't think so.
I don't know if the Empire has hazard pay.
I don't know, man. But yeah,
But they should,
all right,
after the scene that we're gonna discuss today, they should be considering hazard pay because a lot happened inside the Death Star.
A lot.
for this episode.
And we're gonna
Yeah.
talk about the one of the happenings, the situations our heroes and the Imperials got into in the Death Star, and
Mhm.
so we ended with the Falcon being captured by the tractor beam. It was an
Tractor beam, yeah.
yeah. To be honest, the Falcon, seeing the size of the Millennium Falcon and the comparable size of the Death Star when it was about to go into the hangar, it
Mhm,
was
yeah.
epic. And the score as well, as it enters the Death Star, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. But yeah, what did you think about that? Did you think our heroes will be like at that moment? Did you think that they'd have a backup plan
Um,
for that?
what was I thinking? I think the first few times I saw, the first time I saw it,
Yeah.
of course the feeling was okay. They're gonna be in the same environment as where the other characters in the previous scene are. So that's Grand Moff Tarkin, Darth Vader, and Princess Leia. And I thought that at some point they were all going to converge into one scene, or
Yeah.
at least that was my anticipation in terms of the climax of the movie. I thought that would be like a showdown between Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader, or
Yeah.
Grand Moff Tarkin holding Princess Leia hostage, or with a gun to her head, or something like that. That was sort of my anticipation in terms of like the build up of the Falcon coming into the Death Star. They could, of course, I wasn't afraid of them dying or getting caught or being tortured right away, because
Yeah.
they're the heroes, and it's just like it's probably an R10, an R15 into the movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's
You're
so
not that
much
worried.
things to do. Yeah.
I actually, just as a kid, did not bother thinking about it. I just like kept watching it, that scene. But the thing is, so the scene starts with Darth Vader approaching the Falcon with the Imperials, guarding the Falcon itself, and an officer reporting that there are no life forms on board.
Yeah,
The
that was-
log says that they've jettisoned before getting captured. That's what it says. But the thing is,
no one on board,
Darth-
sir. There's according to log.
Darth Vader senses Obi-Wan and says the line,
Ah.
"I sense something, a presence I haven't felt since," and then he leaves.
Mhm.
So that's a pretty. Again, we see Darth Vader also has that ability to, that hockey in One Piece that we were talking about last episode, with Obi-Wan sensing the destruction of Alderaan, and Darth Vader sensing Obi-Wan since he was his former master. It's pretty good.
I mean, if he sensed just like an inkling, I mean, of course, when this movie came out, it was okay. It was totally acceptable. There was no nitpicks needed.
Yeah.
But knowing what we know now, we keep mentioning knowing what we know now because it's so applicable for going
Yeah.
back to the original movies. Knowing what we know now about the relationship of Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi, if he felt like an inkling of the presence of Obi-Wan, and the only difference between before feeling that and after and feeling that was the addition of the Millennium Falcon within the vicinity.
Mhm.
If I was Darth Vader, I'd be going inside the Millennium Falcon and looking, where is Obi-Wan? Where is he?
That's true. That's true.
I mean, I'd be looking for him like crazy, right? I mean,
Spoilers alert if you guys haven't watched Obi-Wan Kenobi the series.
spoilers.
It has been 9 years since their last battle. It's almost a decade. And if you're gonna think about it, it's the same number of years from their first battle in episode 3, Mustafar, going into the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and you see the anger that fueled Darth Vader to search for Obi-Wan, the obsession actually to search for him.
Exactly.
But it's the same number of years after, and yet there is no passion. There's no like rage.
Yeah, it was like, I'll
maybe-
deal with him later, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe because the Emperor actually advised Darth Vader to let go of the search for his former master. and maybe he's more
Probably,
in tuned with his feelings. But then again, I don't know why he should control his feelings, because it's a dark side, man.
It's the
Like,
dark
you
side.
should
Yeah,
let
exactly.
loose. Yeah, let loose. Anyways, yeah.
Again, watching the movie, okay, so he noticed something, but he just ignored it. Okay, maybe it's we'll get there later. So that's sort of how
maybe he was unsure.
maybe, yeah, Like, what would Obi-Wan be doing in a piece of junk like this or something?
Probably, yeah. And he
Yeah.
hates flying. Second, so the next scene is the compartments. So they come out.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
The smuggling compartments, absolutely fantastic.
And I remember Han Solo mentioning that I used this for smuggling. I can't believe, like, something like that. I can't believe I'll be smuggling myself. You know,
Yeah, that's right.
it was and it was epic. I did not know that he had those in the Millennium Falcon. But hey, it's another fun fact for smugglers. Their ship is hollow, and they could hide any freight that they're carrying. But yeah, so they talk about the next thing is that they talk about Obi-Wan disabling the tractor beam because Han Solo says, I can't do anything past that tractor beam. We cannot escape.
Leave that to me.
Yeah, he says Han Solo said something about you fool, I knew you were gonna say that, something like that.
Damn fool.
And-
I knew that you were gonna say that. And Ben says, who's the more foolish?
Yeah.
The fool or the fool who follows him?
Yeah, it's a very iconic line as well. I mean, not as iconic as the other lines, but it's one of the lines that when you say it, it's Star Wars. It's Obi-Wan.
That's right.
Yeah,
It's only Obi-Wan.
yeah. So, and it became a meme. Nowadays, it's been used in pop culture. Many times it has been used since. It's kind of the impact of Star Wars, the original film, and the society we live in today. It's you could actually sense its impact.
And
so
even,
next
even
up,
non Star Wars fans would understand,
Yeah.
or at least have a certain level of context as to what that meme means or what it portrays or
Yeah.
where it came from. Yeah.
Yeah, true. But I wonder who wrote it. Is it George Lucas or a screenwriter? Or a scriptwriter? That we don't know. Anyways,
Sounds a little bit like George, but it's okay.
I mean, it's fine, successful. But yeah, so TK421. All right, the stormtrooper that was guarding the scanning crew. Actually, there's a figure of the scanning crew that's being sold
Is there?
recently. Yeah,
Oh man.
yeah. So I think I have that. I'm not sure. I haven't. I don't open the boxes recently. Just keep it inside the box. But yeah. So TK421, one of the only stormtroopers identified in a film.
Right. Yes.
In
Yes, that's right.
a film in the original trilogy. We never know what their numbers are. Like, what was your reaction with the code? Like,
I think
when-
I think we remember it so much because it was repeated more than once. In that short scene where he I think it was an officer, like he was a guy in black, right? That uniform.
yeah.
And with the
Probably an
small hat.
officer.
So it was
Yeah.
it was like a gantry officer or whatever, and he
Yeah.
was looking for TK421. He was just like repeating, "Hey, my guy, where you at? Like, come on, man, you can't leave your post like that. TK421, why aren't you at your post?" But yeah, so
TK421, do you copy?
So we would use, like when we were kids, we would use TK421 for like random stuff, like if we needed like a fake name or like a code, we'd say TK421, like or passwords in like or names in when you enter names in Final Fantasy video games or whatever. When you enter name, we'd put TK421 like randomly. Just I'll be TK421 this time. Okay, like.
I did
Yeah.
not know that that had a great impact in your childhood.
It's not a great event, but it's just like a really easy callback.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
It kind of got stuck in your head,
Mhm.
being repeated in the film more than once. I guess
Yeah.
that's something that gets stuck in your head. Anyways, so TK421 allegedly comes out of the Falcon and just says like, and then signals that he has a bad comlink, and then the officer comes down, tries to help TK421, but unfortunately our heroes are dressed as stormtroopers. What do you think? They disguised themselves as stormtroopers and knocked out the whole team there,
Yeah. I like it. I like because I like how they quickly came up with a plan, and then just started executing the plan.
Yeah, it was
Despite
kind of
being just like 6 of them. How many are they? There's four plus 2 droids, right? Yeah. So it's 6 of them inside the Death Star.
yeah, in a space
Inside the Death
station
Star, in a
that
Death
size.
Planet killer, and
Yeah.
with a live tractor beam, and just we're gonna execute this plan, and no sweat, we can do it.
Yeah, they were kind of improvising, to be honest, because
Right. Yeah.
so we get to the scene wherein they split up. Obi-Wan goes to the tractor beam, and then Han's just sitting down. Yeah, just sitting down, chilling, waiting for Obi-Wan's signal, because they're close to the ship, and it would be a greater risk if they kind of separated. But then Luke mentions the princess in distress.
R2.
Remember-
Sorry. 3PO was the one who mentioned it, because
Oh.
R2 was going wild.
Oh, yeah.
And then Luke says, like they were complaining about the noise with Chewie and R2, and what's going on, and I don't know. He just keeps saying she's here.
Oh yeah, Leia. So
Yeah,
so
and
I got. Was it R2? Did R2 access the mainframe for him to know?
That's right.
That Leia was there.
He plugged in, and then he was just checking things out, and then he found Princess Leia. She's here, and Princess, what's going on? Han says, and video says level 5 detention block A23 or something like that.
Oh,
I'm afraid she's scheduled to be terminated.
Oh no. But yeah, so Luke tries to, because it is a no questions asked, right? So Han's pretty much in the dark about
Right,
their
that's
mission.
right. Yeah, he didn't know about this side of the mission. Yeah, he didn't know about the hologram or anything.
So I really liked how Luke was trying to, if you remember the lines, how Luke was trying to convince Han to help him rescue the princess.
Han didn't want to. Han
Yeah.
was like, I don't care. Let her die. Let her be
die.
executed.
Yeah, it wasn't that. I mean, I guess that would be the initial reaction of someone who doesn't know, the mission and how, and like doesn't consider what's at stake. I guess if they didn't like save Princess Leia at the time. But yeah,
I mean,
so
Luke says, but they're gonna kill her, and Han says, better her than me.
yeah. You know how that how
Amazing.
yeah, so like
Amazing.
he was so selfish as a smuggler, and we see the character immediately like he hasn't fought for anything but himself, or
That's right,
maybe Chewie
yeah.
at some point.
Maybe, yeah, but you
Yeah.
know, Chewie probably has a price with Han. He has like a certain dollar signs as well.
I mean, Chewie has a life debt,
Oh, that's
he's
right.
indebted
Yeah.
for life, for him being saved by Han Solo and
That's
Kessel.
right. And
Yeah,
I guess Han owes Chewie a lot as well. Like,
Oh yeah, probably.
yeah.
They've been working together for years. But yeah, so Luke.
But
yeah,
when Luke says she's rich,
she's rich.
that was the turnaround.
he was like in this position, and then just like she's rich. Tell me more. Something
Tell me
like
more.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
pretty much something
Yeah.
like that, right? But yeah,
It-
how rich? Something like
mhm.
if I can remember completely, eventually Han got hooked with the idea of rescuing the princess and maybe doubling his fee um in
Right,
saving the princess. Yeah.
yeah, or whatever he could ask from the princess that would be like part of the reward.
Yeah, the reward.
Yeah.
But then basically they hatch up a plan to go rescue the princess. Um they escorted Chewie to the detention level as a prisoner. So
Luke comes up with the plan
yeah,
and suggests it to Chewbacca. Comes up to Chewbacca.
yeah,
I'm gonna need to put these on you, and
yeah.
Chewbacca says, "The F you are." and
What
then
the
and
F you
Han
doing, man?
and then you can see the turnaround between Han not taking Luke seriously to
Yeah,
relax Chewie. I think I know what he's thinking about, or I think his plan is
yeah.
pretty cool. So let's try to do it. So it was a cool moment. It was a cool moment for the evolution of their relationship as well.
Yeah, true. And the journey, they already had the suits, the stormtrooper armor.
Right. Yeah.
It was kind of like everything was going according to I don't know, the will of the force, if there's such a thing.
Could be. Yeah.
Could be. And then and I just wanna emphasize there's another appearance of Wolf Yularen, Admiral Yularen of the Clone
Okay.
Wars. He was walking by the elevators when they were about to go up. It's just a cameo appearance.
He's not the one that they rejected.
No, I don't think
somebody
so.
was gonna try. Okay.
Yeah. And then they were like, "Big guy, you want a piece of him?"
You sure?
And
Are
then-
you sure?
Are you sure? I mean, elevator is gonna be like another 30 minutes with this big ass space station. I wonder how the elevators work. To be honest, like it would span kilometers, I guess, if you were
Maybe.
about to go around. I don't know.
I think a space station that complex may need more than just
Like a train
one
system?
elevator that services multiple floors. I think it would be like multiple elevators servicing different like
Yeah, probably.
sections of levels or whatever. I don't know.
I mean, in the game that I'm playing in Gary's mod, I also played Imperial RP, and there's this map, and we had a map, the Death Star map, and to get from one location to it's kind of big. It's not scaled
okay.
with the actual Death Star, but we use like a train system, a trolley system to get from
Okay.
point A to point B. But then you have to use the elevator to get from one level to the higher levels or lower levels.
But the Death Star, like looking at it, the way we look at it,
it's spherical,
and then
yeah.
it's horizontal, these levels. So basically, if I was on the North Pole of the Death Star, I'd be standing like this.
Yeah.
And if I was at the bottommost level, I'd still be standing the same way. Is that how it is?
That I don't know. To be honest,
It's not like Earth where we're all
yeah. I don't think
standing
so.
concentric
It might be that way
yeah.
because it's
I was
harder
just
to maintain a
wondering.
gravitational. There's no gravitational pull. I mean that
That's
size
right.
of a space station. That's why it's it's unreal. It's the first time in the galaxy that they've
Yeah.
seen it.
I don't want to get
So-
into it. I don't care really. It's just like a
the
random
science
thought
behind
it. The science
Yeah.
behind it. I don't really care, but I'm glad they did it the way they did. I didn't want them to have to make sense of things like that. But I just thought about it now. For all these years, I never really thought about how the gravity was on the Death Star.
True. Anyways, so they get to the detention level, and then I did not. They talked to the officer, in like the control panel on that detention level, and like I did not expect a prisoner today, something like that.
What is this thing?
Thing.
Where are you taking this thing?
Something like that. So yeah, so um, there's a cool line if you can remember with just they just blast away because they don't know, they
Mhm.
don't have any papers for Chewbacca to be a prisoner, so they just blast away, knocks out or kills the Imperials inside.
Look out! He's loose.
Yeah,
Start.
so yeah, blasting it their way, but so the other, maybe the command center of the Death Star or that sector of the Death Star kind of gets
Yeah.
alarmed with the
Right,
blaster
yeah.
fire and everything, and they try to contact what's going on in there, something like that.
Had a slight weapons malfunction, but everything's perfectly all right now. We're fine. We're all fine here. Now, thank you. How are you? Amazing.
What's your operating number? Something like that. And then
Yeah.
Han, as a smuggler, if you're like caught, you just blast your way through. You know?
Right, yeah.
That's a smuggler way, I think. But yeah, so in an interview with Harrison Ford or something like that, quote unquote, I don't know if this is true, but they are claiming that line or those lines were improvised by Han.
I can see it. Yeah, I could definitely see it being improvised by Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
He was so big on the improvisation. I think on set, like, I think Mark Hamill needed to have his toes, be on his toes all the time because Harrison Ford would be like coming up with these like
lines,
ad-lib stuff, and he didn't really want to stick with the script, especially from George. And I think they also had a near argument about it.
Yeah. The argument was like, he says the line, Harrison says the line, and like George says, "Yeah, that's what you say." I mean, no one's going to say that.
Yeah.
Nobody in their right mind will say that line.
That's right. Yeah.
But then again, he, ever since I knew that, that he said that, I kind of like imagine every time Han Solo would say something technical, I would like say, oh, he had to maybe like stomach in the actual lines, for example, like if he refers to the hyperdrive, anything like techie with the Star Wars universe. I can't really think on top of my head what lines they were, but I think he still had to, in a sense, stick with the original lines.
Yeah,
because there are something you can't.
Yeah,
the terminologies, like.
Right.
But
right.
So did you like notice the security cameras? They were weird.
They were not uniform. Like they would have like different. One would be like flush with the wall. Another would be like six, like a 6-pack of cameras. It was all different. It's like,
it was weird.
How many? I guess the Empire believes in multiple suppliers. I guess for Death Star, like
probably. But okay, we go to the before we end, we go to the last scene. We're in. Luke goes to Princess Leia's detention cell and opens the door and sees Leia like doing her iconic pose. Like, aren't you a little short for a stormtrooper?
Iconic pose, Princess Leia pose, super sexy, and Luke stands there like, she's hot.
and fun fact, she wasn't wearing any underwear under that robe.
I heard about this. I did hear about this. But so no underwear in this scene, in this costume.
In this costume, because she asked George, and then George says, There's no underwear in space. Something like that.
No underwear in space. That's right.
Yeah. So that's the creator. That's the god himself. The god of Star Wars.
I mean, the Stormtroopers had their underwear outside. So yeah.
It kind of looked like underwear. But so they see each other like, I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you. So he's very eager.
You're who?
Alright, we don't know anything. We're not gonna spoil anything for now, but yeah. So, they're expecting company, and then they go outside, and I think we'll just end up here.
Okay,
we'll just end up here.
I mean, we'll just so stay tuned for the next episode, guys. Where we continue from the detention level to the next scenes, which is going up to the climax. So
Yeah.
watch out for that.
Stay
guys.
tuned, guys. All right, so that's pretty much it. All right, don't forget to follow us on TikTok. All right, at Trooper Archives. Please like and comment. On this video. Give us a thumbs up. Comment down below what you think about this video. Anything we can improve upon, stories you want us to talk about with regard to the episode, even previous episodes. We would very much appreciate it. And please do subscribe to Trooper Archives, because good soldiers follow orders. I am Gabe.
And I'm Ace. This has been Trooper Archives. Are we too short to be Stormtroopers?
Move along.